Hi everyone, welcome to another edition of Moments with Lulu. If you're new to my channel, please make sure you're subscribed. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about how you can stand out in clinical as a nursing student and how you can be proactive. So without further ado, let's get right into this video. So the first thing is create objectives. So if you're going into clinical for this week, you want to have a list of maybe skills or some things you want to accomplish by the end of this week. Make sure you voice it to your clinical instructor and voice it to other nurses on the unit. My second point is do not sit or roam around the unit. Sometimes it may seem less busy. So you want to make sure that you're hopping in on opportunities, you're hopping in on available skills, you're going to check on patients. So if he's not busy on the unit, something you can do is comfort rounds. So make sure that you're answering call bells, going to your patient and every other patient on the unit just to make sure they are comfortable, or just asking if there's something they need, or asking the nurses if there are any of their patients who probably need to be washed or fed. So you want to make sure that you are doing all these little things that's going to help the nurses on the unit and also help you stand out in clinical, because your clinical instructor is also watching you, and this also shows leadership. So it's important you're doing this. Make sure you're doing something. Keep yourself busy. Go help out your fellow students. Ask them if they need help. Those little things will go a long way in making you stand out in clinical. So make sure you're taking all those opportunities there, because it's going to look good on you and look good on the unit as well. My next point here is if there's a certain day on the unit and probably a nurse is busy, offer to help her out with some nursing skills that are within your scope of practice that you're prepared and comfortable to do. So make sure that you are taking the initiative, help them out. They will be grateful, they'll recognize you. If there's probably some opportunities on the unit, they'll always have you in mind and they'll want to call you. So that's just something you need to do, to make yourself stand out and to also help you as a nursing student improve your skills. So just make sure that you're embracing those opportunities. If you make a mistake, it's okay to feel bad, but just accept that it's a slow process, it's a learning process. It's going to be slow and steady, but just take it easy and don't feel discouraged. My next point is make sure you're asking questions. So ask your instructor questions, ask the nurses on the unit if there's something that seems unclear to you, or there's something you're not sure about regarding your patient's condition, or anything at all related to clinical and related to nursing, even related to the hospital itself. Make sure you're asking questions, be inquisitive. Another point is if you're ever wondering about your patient situation, it's always good to do a research yourself. So try to figure it out on your own. And if it's not making sense, then you go meet your clinical instructor or ask a nurse on the unit. Also, make your fellow students a resource, because they are so good too, because you're all there, you're all learning together. So ask them. So just make sure that you're making every effort to find answers before meeting your clinical instructor, because chances are if you go to a clinical instructor, they'll want to assess what you know before they give you the answer, or they tell you and things like that. So make sure that you're strictly doing this, because it's going to help you learn, and that's how you grow. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but doing comfort rounds is a good way to be proactive. Go checking on all the patients, ask them, do you need anything? Can I get you a blanket? Can I get you a drink of water? And things like that. So make sure you're doing everything possible to make them comfortable. This way you're not just sitting and not doing anything. Also engage with your patient, your assigned patient. Make sure you're engaging with them, talk to them, because chances are you have them for more than a day, or the duration of your stay on the unit for that particular week. So make sure that you're also having a conversation with them, engaging them too, so make them talk to you. My next point is show up on time to clinical. Be prepared. It's important. Be prepared and be presentable. if your nursing school says tie your hair to the back, no hand jewelry, no jewelries and anything like that, make sure you're sticking to it. Like, just stick to it for the safety of yourself and for everyone. Just make sure you're following the policies. They say don't do it, don't do it. And also make sure you're prepared. When I say prepared going to clinical, you want to ensure that your patient research is well done. Be ready, because your instructor is going to ask you questions. So you want to have a well done patient research. Make sure you understand your patient's pathophysiology. So you want to make sure you understand that and you're able to connect as to why they're taking a certain drug and what lab values are important and things like that. Like, these are areas that instructors like to, go in to ask you questions. And if your patient probably has a comorbidity and has a primary illness, you want to make sure that you're able to know, okay, how does this primary illness connect with this comorbidity, or how does this comorbidity affect this patient and this primary illness and things like that. So make sure that you also understand that, because that will also help you understand why your patient is exhibiting some symptoms, or why they are taking a certain medication, or why their lab value is at a certain point. So make sure you do your patient research very well. My next point is to be flexible. So you want to be flexible in clinical. Be ready to jump in on situations. Like, anything can happen. The nurses always need help, that's for sure. Ask them, is there something I can do for you? Is there something I can help you with? Be ready, be aware of your environment, so that if someone is calling for help, or there's just a bell ringing in a certain room and the nurse is needing help with some supplies, or just because she cannot leave a patient or things like that, make sure that you're ready to jump in on that situation, because that shows that nurse that you really care for patients and you're very interested in your learning. And that nurse will be very likely to always ask you, do you want to practice this? There's this opportunity. So just making yourself available will help you stand out, and your nurses, the nurses on the unit, will always want to call you. They'll always have you stuck on their mind when there's something that needs to be done, or if they need help, or if there's any opportunity for a skill. So make sure that you are doing that. It helps. My next point is to make suggestions. So your clinical instructor might have things that she might want to explore with your student group. But it's always good to say, oh, I would like you to make opportunity for us to have a shadowing experience. It could be on another unit or a different care area and things like that. So voice those out, voice your concerns. Your instructor will make those opportunities available to you if it's possible, and make contributions to your post-conference section and your debriefing sections, because they also help you. You want to make sure that you're contributing so you can get comfortable and you can get relaxed with your fellow student group and your clinical instructor too. My next point is to make sure that you're practicing good body mechanics in clinical, because nursing can be physically tasking sometimes, and you don't want to be having some kind of body or muscle soreness and things like that. You don't want to be tired or being in pains when you should be, doing things properly and doing things on the unit. So make sure you're using good body mechanics. If you're transferring a patient, if you're lifting it, whatever you're doing, make sure, because you need your body to work for you for a very long time. So make sure you take care of it. My next point is stay hydrated in clinical. Take bathroom breaks, and make sure you're doing these things for your own self-care too, because to take care of someone else, you need to be able to take care of yourself. So make sure that you're doing this. And finally, make sure you're getting sufficient sleep throughout the night. You don't want to go to clinical feeling tired or dizzy and just not there, you're so extra tired. Sometimes your schoolwork could keep you up, but make sure you have an effective time management plan. It's all about time management, and that sleep is very important, because you're probably going to clinical for 8 hours for the rest of the 4 days of the week, or 3, or however it's done at your school. So make sure that you're taking this sleep time seriously and don't miss out on your sleep. So yeah, that's the end of this video. And if you all have any other tips or like suggestions for how to stand out or to be proactive in clinical, please leave them in the comment section so that other people who go to the comments can also take those points and add them to their nursing journey. We all want to be successful. That's the point. So you need to help out your fellow students too. So yeah, that's the end of my video for today. If this video stood out to you, if you enjoyed watching this video, please don't forget to like and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't. And I'll see you all next week. Bye now.